just interesting to note that a year ago, this man would not have been flying. Although we don't know what the cause of death was, we don't really know whether or not it was age-related at all. Just another point that this is exactly why they have first officers on board flights, so they can take over in case there is an in-flight emergency. That's what happened here. They had the training they needed. Everything ended well. Fred?
All right, very sad circumstances for the 61-year-old captain, but we're glad to be able to report that emergency situation now over. Plane landed safely there at Newark, New Jersey airport. Thanks so much to both of you. All right, Josh Les has also been keeping a close watch on this. Why? Because in social networking, everyone has been talking about this, keeping a close watch, feeling a real personal connection to this because so many of us fly on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's right, Fred. I want to zoom in a second. First of all, show everyone the good news that people were wanting to see. This is Continental's website right here, and what you're seeing here landed. Taxiing to the gate. That's music to a lot of people's ears right now, especially all these people who have been tweeting like crazy over the last hour. It became the most popular topic on Twitter. We're seeing a lot of people talk about how concerned they are about these people. We're keeping a close eye on Twitter. Sometimes, as I mentioned earlier, you hear from people whose relatives are on the plane. Sometimes the first reactions are people stepping off of a plane or another incident and immediately tweeting out what they have to say. So we'll be sharing that with you. Let's zoom in one more time. I want to show everyone something. I know that we've been wanting to see what this plane is like, this type of plane. Boeing has an image of this type of plane on its website, Boeing.com. This is obviously not the plane. This is an Aeromexico plane. But people who have traveled are familiar with this type of plane. Seeing a picture like that, a still shot, kind of helps you digest what it is we're talking about, the type of plane that was at issue today. I'll also mention, of course, this is our top story, CNN.com right now. We got a big bulletin in yellow for you there. And Fred, we're going to follow your tweets. We're going to follow the story. We're going to follow Continental and FAA websites. Any new details about what happened on this plane, we'll have them first for you right here.
All right, thanks so much. I must say FAA and Continental Airlines very thorough and very quick to deliver this kind of information, especially while that plane was still in flight, just minutes before it finally made that very safe landing. Thanks so much, Josh. Our Chad Myers is in the Weather Center, but he also has been keeping a close watch on the developments of Continental Airlines Flight 61 as it made its landing into Newark. Chad?
Well, what we were watching, too, a couple things, Fred, that made it a little bit more difficult. I mean, you know, it was raining, it was windy a little bit out of the south, but that's almost aligning with where the runway is. I'm going to take you to Flight Explorer. They actually cleared the airspace for this plane. There were no other planes landing ahead of it. Literally, it could see the entire runway. But because of the rain and because of the cloud cover, the visibility was only about 3 miles, and the ceiling was a little bit lower than what a pilot like that would really like to expect. But still, as they came in, had about 3 miles visibility, saw the runway right in front of him or her, and as it just brought the plane in, it looked like a picture-perfect thing, at least as we were watching it here on the satellite. The rain got in a little bit of the way. The wind, you know, probably not much of a factor because it wasn't a crosswind. If you had a crosswind over those runways, 20 or 30 miles per hour, they may have diverted that plane somewhere else. They may have said, you know what, let's not do this. Let's not bring a plane in with a 30-mile-an-hour crosswind with a lower visibility and the rain on the runway. Let's just put it someplace else. Let's find a runway. Let's find an airport that had the runways going with the wind. So there's an awful lot of options up there. I did talk to some people from Continental that I know. They said that, look, these first officers fly the plane a lot. I mean, they are in the pilot seat a lot when they are flying the plane across the Atlantic Ocean. And many times on a big plane like this, there might be more than one crew in that plane. And so there may have even been another pilot just sitting in the back waiting to either for relief or whatever it might be. So far, we don't know that that actually happened here on this flight. All we're hearing about is first officers, but clearly a safe landing to a rather tense situation for a couple of hours. I'm sure